Shamanettes, and welcome to the Beauty Shaman. So today we are going to do this look. So this is a summertime bronzed monochromatic look, which is very, very in for 2022 spring summer. I love this look. I think anybody can use this depending on your skin color. I mean, all the ranges of skin colors can wear this to different varying degrees. So I think it's going to be really educational, and I think you're going to get a lot out of this. Okay, so before we get started, please visit my website at thebeautyshamanstore.com and sign up for my newsletter for insider deals and discounts. And also hit the subscribe button and the bell to be alerted every time I upload a video. Let's get going. Okay, so because it's summertime, we need to use some sunblock on our face. It's important. It's one of the most aging things we can do is to get too much sun on our face. I think a little bit of sun is actually fine, but you know, if we get sunburned or too much sun, then it can really age us. So I'm going to put on a little bit of Sunblock 50, the Image MD. This is a Restoring Daily Defense Moisturizer with SPF 50 in it. So this is great for just every day. If you're, going to be out in the sun a little bit, I would say this would be a great thing. If you're going to be out a lot, you might want to use one that you reapply every 2 hours if you're going to be in the direct sun. This is more just kind of day-to-day life in the hot sun, okay? Like going in the store or, whatever you're going to be doing. Okay, but I love this. It's wonderful. It's formulated by a dermatologist. It's a wonderful moisturizer. Has a little bit of zinc in it, of course, in order to block the sun. So when you first put it on, it gets a little bit of a white look, but that's okay. It goes down. Okay, so for foundation today, I'm going to try Vapor. So this is a new foundation that they have, and I actually really, really love it. This is their Soft Focus Foundation. They sent this to me along with a few other products that I'm going to use today in the video. I will do a product review about Vapor. I really like this line. So some of the products we're using are from them. Some are from Jane Iredale, who, as you know, is one of my very favorites as well when it comes to clean beauty. So anyway, we're going to use this. Now, it also happens to be a little light for my bronzer that I just put on because I did the color match about, I don't know, maybe 3 weeks ago, 2.5 weeks ago when I was still pretty pale. So in order to manage that, which is a big thing as we go into summer, how do you manage as you get a tan and your foundation is the wrong color? I have this very loved, but this is bronzer. And it's by Face Atelier. Of course, all the links are down below. And I'm going to mix this with my foundation in order to try to match this a little bit. See how I do. So I'm going to layer the foundation, the rest of this, around my eye area so that I use less concealer. I'm really pro not using a ton of concealer on older skin because of lines and wrinkles. And even though I'm going to use a concealer that's really great, that doesn't set in lines and wrinkles, I think it's important to try to use as little as possible. And one way to do that is to layer your foundation. The Soft Focus foundation here from Vapor is actually a medium coverage, light to medium, but I like the coverage. I think it's really nice. As you can see, it sits beautifully on the skin. It actually shoots really well on 4K cameras, which is important to me because I work in television. But I think it's a beautiful foundation, but I want to layer that a little bit more. So I love the finish of this foundation. I think it's really beautiful. I think it's probably the best one that they've put out so far. So yeah, it gets definitely a thumbs up from me. All right, I'm going to do a little concealer. This is not a clean beauty concealer. This is Kojendo concealer, and it's creamy concealer. I really love this on older skin. I think it sits beautifully. Big fan. And I'm going to just put it right here is all I'm going to do. Many of you do your concealers too much. So please watch this video I'm going to put up in the corner if you need help with concealers because I'm going to show you how to do it in a way that doesn't set in fine lines. I'm also going to use the concealer as a highlight. Okay, now I'm going to do a little bit of powder, especially around my eye area, and I'm going to use Vapor. Vapor sent me this pressed powder, which I think is really nice. This looks super, super light, but it's going to actually just meld into my skin. But this is a beautiful powder. Okay, so moving into bronzing powder. So again, I'm going to go to Vapor. They sent this to me, and this is a bronzing powder called Eclipse. So I think this is very, very pretty. It's very soft. Now, I did buy this with a little bit of a paler skin, but I do think it still works even with my little bit of tan here. Okay, so I really love this look. I mean, it's just a soft, subtle, I guess is the word I'm looking for. I really don't like on older women and our face is thinner, that if we do too much bronzer or too much reddish bronzer, that it can really thin our faces out even more. And I don't think this was really very flattering on women. So I try to do it in a really soft way. All right, I'm going to fill in my eyebrows here. I'm going to use this from Glossier. I got this in London when I was in London visiting my daughter recently. Glossier is a very popular brand for younger, younger girls, basically, but I thought this was a really good product. Okay, so next I'm going to do some lips because I like to start with lips sometimes. It helps me know how much eyeshadow to use because sometimes I find if I do my eyeshadow first, then I have a hard time finding my lip color. But I know what lip color I'm going to use, so I'm going to start with that. So I'm going to use, this is by Jane Iredale called Mocha Latte. And I am totally obsessed with this, and I'm not just saying that. I love this color so much. I live in this color. It is so beautiful. Yes, this is what we're using. And we're going to use a little bit of nude lip liner. This is also from Jane Iredale. It's also equally loved, as you can see. So let's start with some lip liner. And I want you to know, to do lip liner first, you really have to blend it in well with lipstick or lip gloss, whatever you're using, because otherwise you get too defined of a lip liner look. And that is harsher on older skin. I really like a nice, soft, diffused look. Okay, as you can see, I went a little bit outside my lip line. For more information on doing your lip liner and lipstick in a way that really makes your lips look plumper, do check it out in the upper corner here. Now let's put on a little mocha latte. Is that not totally beautiful? I'm so in love with this color. Okay, so we're on to eyeshadow, and I'm going to use this Jane Iredale palette. This is their new palettes. They've rebranded their palettes, which I love. This is called Naturally Matte. I love this. Look how amazing these are. These are all mattes, and we can add frost or like a little bit of glitter on after, which I'm going to do if you want. But I think mattes are really usable, especially because many of us can't wear any glitter because it sets in maybe crepey eyelids or older skin. So sometimes that can be a little bit tricky, which is why I love this palette. I think it's very, very usable. And I think their new color orientations is fantastic. There's 6 now instead of 5. And I just love these tones. They're just all these lovely bronzy warm tones, which are going to go beautifully with this particular look. All right, I'm going to start with the darkest color here. It's a bit of a mocha color, sticking with the mocha theme. And I'm going to put it on with a thin brush. Okay, so this is the basic eyeshadow look that I'm going to do. I haven't done mascara yet. So I'm going to do some mascara in a second. And I want to put a little bit of shine on there for those of you who love a little bit of a shine. So I'm going to use this palette. This is my favorite glossy palette. This is by Chantecaille. And it has a lovely array of shades, as you can see. So I'm probably going to use a little bit of the gold since we're doing bronzy. And now a little bit of mascara. I'm going to use my Jane Iredale Beyond Mascara. I love this. It does not contain formaldehyde. This is a clean beauty mascara. Very hard to find clean beauty mascaras that are good, that do not contain formaldehyde, because that is the toxic ingredient that is in almost every single mascara on the market. And this doesn't contain it, and it holds up really well. I really like it. Okay, everything's done except for blush, and I've already started on my Mocha blush. This is by Jane Iredale. I think it's a really pretty color just to pop right on that cheekbone right there. See how much that warmed that up? And it goes along really well with the whole bronzed, very warm look to everything. So just on that cheekbone. If you have a very thin face, you can pull your blush down a little bit further, and it'll help to plump up a thin part if you have a lot of gauntness kind of through this part of your face. So I'm just going to keep it right on my cheeks though. Okay, so this is the Monochromatic bronzed beauty look. I hope you like it. I hope you try it. Please write down below. I always love hearing from you. I think it's full of lovely subtleties and rich, warm tones, which I love, love, love on older skin. So hope you enjoy it. Have an awesome summer, and thank you so much for watching.